I'll tell you about my family. I have an older sister. She's 2 years older than me. She lives in Florida now, and she teaches at a college there. She teaches Asian religions. She lived in India for a few years, and she still works translating hymns from Sanskrit. She does a lot of traveling and speaking. Then I have a younger sister who's 7 years younger than me, and she lives in Texas. She's a lawyer. My two sisters are very different from each other, so my relationship with each one is different. It expresses a different part of me. Then I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me. He lives in Philadelphia, and he's a chiropractor, and he's also a jazz musician. My parents live in South Jersey still. They came to New Jersey from Boston. My father worked as an electrical engineer. He studied physics, and he's still very interested in ideas and different ideas about the universe and things. My mother is more down to earth, and she really puts up with a lot from us. And they're both very involved in their church. They do a lot of activities through the church. My grandparents came here. All of them came as immigrants. They came into Ellis Island and had their names changed to sound more American. One grandmother came from Turkey. She came because there was a civil war in her country. So all the women had to leave the village, go into the city, and her village was destroyed. She came here with her cousin. My other grandmother also came. She came from Crete. She was about 18. She came all alone. I can't imagine how she did that. But I think she mostly came because she liked to read. And the men in her village, she couldn't find anyone intelligent enough to marry. She had to hide her books because the other people made fun of her. So maybe that had something to do with why she came. And my grandfather also came from Crete. He lived in Egypt for a little while. Then he came over also to New York and then to Boston. And my fourth grandfather came from right outside of Athens. When he came here, he had a vegetable truck. He sold vegetables off the back of his truck. And I often wonder how it would be for them, how they could leave everything, their families and their homes, and have no telephones, never be able to see or talk to their families again. And I think that their parents, my great-grandparents, lived in villages without electricity or plumbing or running water. They lived in such an ancient way, yet they were not very... It wasn't very long ago that so many changes took place in the world in so short a period of time that it's amazing to think about sometimes. So now I live here in this country, and the age that I am now, my mother had children. My grandmother probably had grandchildren. I don't know. The way I live is very different than how I would have lived if we were back in the village. So some things are good about that, and some things are not, but that's how it is.